Hello, BookTube. I'm way behind on tags. I know I've said that. I keep getting tagged anyway. And I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. Quite a few of you are way behind on tags. And recently, Britta at her channel made that same confession, that she's terrible with tags and she has a lot of them to do. And she decided to take the bull by the horns and do the most recent tag first, instead of digging back to the ones that really deserve the attention because I've been waiting around so long. And I like that idea, so I'm going to do it myself. And the tag in question is the tag she tagged me in while she was doing it. It's the BookTube Watching Tag, which was created by Harriet Rosie, and it's one of those personal book tags, one of those nosy book tags where you're asking really about another booktuber's habits and patterns of interest, and I love those. So it's all about how you watch BookTube. So I thought we'd jump right into it. Question number one is, how many channels are you subscribed to? I actually had to go into the metrics of my channel to find out, and the total number is 677, and I'd be willing to bet that out of that, probably 400 are BookTube channels. I think the vast majority of them are BookTube channels. There's quite a few news channels, quite a few nature channels, a bunch of other stuff, miscellaneous stuff. A lot of that number are people who don't post videos anymore, so I should cull, but I keep hoping. Question number two is, when do you normally watch BookTube? I often use BookTube just to listen to. Unless a booktuber is doing something that I need to see. If it's somebody's ruminations on a book, then I don't need to see that. If they're doing a mail haul or a book haul of some kind, then I probably want to see it. But I do a lot of BookTube watching without a visual component, which means that I can do it while I'm typing, while I'm writing, also in quiet moments. If I've got a puppy asleep on top of me, then I'm not writing, so I'll just watch stuff then. But usually during the day, usually during the morning. And question number three, how do you balance BookTube watching, reading, and making your own videos? Well, I mean, nothing takes precedent over reading. But reading, I have a preserve for reading. Every night at midnight, I turn into a pumpkin. I turn off everything. I turn off the world. I settle the dog. I turn off the computer. I turn off the phone. I turn off all social media and just read, and for hours. So it's a very nice luxury. It's a nice feeling to know in the course of especially a hectic day, to know for sure that I'm going to get that reading time, so that even if I don't get any other reading time during the day, I'm still getting that. But I often do get lots of reading time in the rest of the day. I write very fast, and I manage my deadlines fairly well. I've been doing this for a while, so deadlines don't usually sneak up on me. The only ones that ever even approximate that are when an editor actually drops something in my lap at the last minute and says, "Can you have this for me tomorrow?" But that doesn't happen all the time. So there's a huge chunk of the day that is also given over to reading. And my BookTube filming doesn't require much time, because I'm not, unlike a lot of the rest of you, I'm not making the video and then sitting down and laboring over it in editing, cutting and pasting, laying over audio, laying over visual effects and whatnot. I have heard horror stories about how time-consuming that can be, and I don't do it. Not because it's time-consuming, although that would probably kill it anyway, but because I don't know how to do it, and I don't suspect I'd be any good at it. So I just make my videos and then upload them. And the uploading takes time, but it doesn't take attention. I just have to keep an eye on, what percentage is uploaded. So the balance isn't hard for me. I have to do a huge amount of writing every day anyway. Might as well have BookTube on while that's happening. It doesn't take much attention to watch if a booktuber needs my visual attention. If they don't, then I don't give it to them. And the reading takes care of itself. That's the whole point, after all. That's what I do for a living. Let's see here. Question number 4. Is there a difference between videos you like watching and videos you like making? I love this question. I don't like or dislike any kind of video any more than any other. I have a very limited repertoire of the kinds of videos that I can make, and I love making them all. But So I don't think that's reflected in the videos that I watch either. It's a lot like the point that Britta made in her video. I mainly subscribe to people, not to videos when it comes to BookTube. Other channels, no. But when it comes to BookTube, I'm mainly interested in you. I mainly want to know how your day's going, what you're reading, what you're thinking about it. So the temptation here would be to say the kinds of videos that you like to watch are the really neatly edited ones or the ones with funny visual effects or whatnot. But no, I love watching them. But you don't, if you're making that, so to speak, if you're making that effort for me, you need not. There isn't really a difference on the thematic level that I can think of. Question number 5. Who is the first booktuber you subscribed to, and do you still watch them? Well, the first booktuber I subscribed to was Jason Purcell, and I'd be happy to watch a video a day from him if he made them, but he doesn't. I'd be happy to watch a video a month from him if he made them, but he doesn't. I'd have to watch any kind of video from him if he made them, but he doesn't. It's something I didn't learn until I started making BookTube videos. Something I didn't pay attention to until I started making BookTube videos is how many BookTubers disappear, fall by the wayside, stop producing content. It's amazing. Probably a different story for every one of them. Question number 6. Who is the most recent BookTuber you subscribed to? It was from Britta's video. When I watched Britta's video and she tagged me, she answered this question by mentioning Justin at TriumphalReads and mentioning that he loves high fantasy and history. Fine combination for me. So I went over to his channel and immediately subscribed. So he would be the most recent one. I haven't yet done my usual protocol when I subscribe to a new channel is to watch all of the old videos. And I haven't done that yet with him, but I will, probably today. Question number 7. Share an old favorite BookTuber. Oh, well, what about Lindsey Rey? She used to be our queen bee. She made a million videos regularly. The standard carousel of BookTube videos, the wrap-ups, the hauls, the unhauls, the discussions, she did those regularly and with a passion. Always something interesting in one of her videos, and she just up and stopped. As far as I know, there was no fanfare at all, at least on BookTube. She didn't announce that she was going to stop. She just stopped, and has never returned. Unlike, for instance, Britta mentions Max at Well Done Books, who used to do the same thing, used to be very religious about the standard rhythms, the standard templates of BookTube, and then stopped. And he occasionally makes a video, but Lindsey Rey, as far as I know, doesn't, and hasn't in years. Question number 8. Share a new favorite BookTuber. Well, new relatively. What about Matthew at MCS Books? I absolutely love his videos. They're lovely. They're beautiful. They're soothing to listen to. He has a very soothing voice to listen to, and they're also very thoughtful. He puts a lot of work into thinking about what he's going to say before he says it. So, I mean, he's not technically brand new, but I certainly consider him so. He's certainly new to me, relatively speaking. Question number 9. What is one of your BookTube pet peeves? I noticed that when Britta did this, she gently eluded over the one so that she could name a few. And I have a ton of BookTube pet peeves. I'm tempted to do the same thing, but I'll restrict myself just to one for now. And I'll say one of my BookTube pet peeves is when the BookTuber starts to think of, characterize, and behave on their channel as if it were a show on ABC or BBC One that with a production staff and a camera crew and a budget, and you're the talent, of course, with a capital T. So you show up and you've got a show to do, and it's welcome to the show. I'm your host, so and so. When that's actually not the case, and it's extremely distancing. You wouldn't ever talk to your friends that way at the local pub. Never. You wouldn't do it. So I much prefer BookTube channels that don't do that. I much prefer BookTube channels that simply talk to me. So I'm going to count that as a pet peeve. It drives me nuts. If you want to build a media empire, I don't think BookTube is the way to do it. Question number 10. What have you learned from watching other BookTubers? Well, I mean, the main thing I've learned is about other books. I find new books, new slants on old books all the time by watching BookTube. But also a bunch of, I guess you could call it procedural stuff, on-camera behaviors, on-camera awarenesses, that sort of thing. You slowly, at least for me, slowly, you slowly refine your own game by watching other people do it. So it'd be a combination of those things, but mostly books. There's just an endless stream of books on BookTube, and I can't get to them all, and I've never heard of some of them, so it's wonderful for me in that sense. And let's see here. All right, we're all the way to the end. 11 is to tag people. And I tag Wilson Shugart. I tag Barter Hortz. I tag Richardson Reads, The Medieval Reader, Curtis at Curtis Books and Film, Lukash at his channel. I tag Rachel Morrow if she'll do it. This is really lots and lots of people. Britta tagged a lot of people. I'll be watching for theirs because this is exactly the kind of tag I love, where I learn about your interaction with this thing that we all do. And that fascinates me. So I'll wrap this up for now. And thank you, Britta, for the tag. I'll leave all the stuff, the annotation down below. I'll even leave a link to Lindsey Rey's channel. Little good it will do. You can watch her backlog if it's still up. But anyway, I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.